Hare Krishna, thank you all for coming tonight to our Sunday Krishna Fest. You can now all turn and face this seat and we'll have a talk from 6 o'clock until 7. And tonight's talk will be given by Balarama Dasa Brahmachari. In case anyone here does not know Balaram, I'll say that Balaram joined the temple here as a Brahmachari monk in 2006. So since then he's been practicing and sharing, teaching Krishna consciousness to others. And he's also now our temple president. He's now the president of the San Diego Hare Krishna Temple. Tonight, actually, the month of January, the Sunday Feast talks will have a theme. This is also Balaram's idea. There'll be a theme for the Sunday Feast talks this month, and that theme will be determination. And so Balaram will start us off with that. Tonight he will speak on determination in Krishna consciousness.
Krishna. Hare Krishna. Jaya Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Giri Varadari Gopi Jana Vallabha Giri Varadari Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Thiravanachari Yamuna Thiravanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna. Do you think you could pass me the Bhagavad Gita? Yeah, you could do it. Yeah, it's in the audio closet. You know the audio closet? Yeah, book. Om Gyantivedandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshulan Meditam Mena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Mukham Karitavachalam Pangam Langai Tegadim Yakipatamaham Vande Shri Gurundaditaranam Vancha Koptiribhishcha Kripa Sindhu Bevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhaktivinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So when we think about determination in Krishna consciousness, it's always nice to think about Srila Prabhupada, because he was a perfect example. Srila Prabhupada, the founder of the Hare Krishna movement here, to the left of me. He was a perfect example of someone who had determination in Krishna consciousness. Because there's also determination in other types of consciousness. There's determination in the mode of ignorance, which Krishna explains in the Bhagavad Gita. There's 3 modes of material nature. So there's determination in ignorance, there's determination in passion, there's determination in goodness, and they have different characteristics. Does anyone remember the characteristics of determination in ignorance? Or does anyone remember where that is stated in the Bhagavad Gita? Where's Mukunda? 17? You're saying chapter 17? Does anybody know? Does anyone remember? Where is Mukunda? He's in the lobby? Is Mukunda in the lobby? He must be there, right? No. Oh, he's not. He's not doing his job. Okay. Determination and ignorance explains that Krishna explains in the Bhagavad Gita that determination that doesn't go beyond dreaming, just like dreaming. So in other words, there's so many plans. Yes, I will do this, I will do that, I will go here, I will go there. But if it just remains on that mental platform, and it never goes beyond that, and if one is just taking shelter of sleep or intoxication or things like that, then that's determination and ignorance. So like that, there's determination in different types of consciousness. If one is determined to simply become successful on the material platform, which is defined by having a lot of money in the bank account, in your bank account, if one's just simply passionate to attain such a thing, then that, and they're determined in that way, then that is determination and passion, for example. We could see there's people like that in the world. And goodness, one's determined to live a very clean, healthy, natural life, free from all types of problems. And they're determined just to be a good person, but never to go beyond that platform. Because there's much more to life than just being a good person. Much more to life than simply being kind and giving donations to charitable organizations and living in a very peaceful place. That's all good by nature, goodness, but there's more than that. And that is spiritual consciousness or Krishna consciousness. So determination in Krishna consciousness means that is defined by a devotee of Krishna being determined to do whatever it takes to please Krishna or to please God. When we say Krishna, we mean God. Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So in other words, a devotee is willing to do anything. It doesn't matter what that is. Srila Prabhupada gives the example, he mentions, he really liked this one, of the gopis of Vrindavan. The gopis are cowherd girls, the damsels of Vrindavan. Vrindavan's a place in India, for those who are unaware, but it's a place where Krishna appeared and 5,000 years ago to perform his pastimes, just like the foundation of Christianity is the belief that Jesus Christ was actually that he actually appeared and he was the savior of everyone and so on, and the whole religion of Buddhism rests on Lord Jesus Christ. Buddha's appearance, Islam, Muhammad's appearance. So people, they accept that these personalities existed and that they taught certain principles and lived in a particular way and so on and so forth. So similarly, within Krishna consciousness, we accept that Krishna appeared. So while he was there in Vrindavan, he had the gopis, these great devotees, and there was a particular time where Krishna had a headache. Of course, God, you could say, he doesn't get a headache like we do, but this is for Leela's sake or pastime's sake. He got a headache. So then Narada Muni, a great devotee of Krishna, he wanted to relieve this headache, so he asked Krishna, what can I do to help you get free from this headache? Does anyone remember? Yes.
Said I need the dust from my devotee's feet.
Yes.
Maybe that can help me get
Yes. I need the dust from the feet of my devotees. That's what Krishna was saying. Krishna was saying, I need the dust from the feet of my devotees. So, and say, why dust? The idea is that devotees are saintly by definition, and for example, the dust that decorates their feet, if one takes that dust and puts it on their head, it's a sign of humility, but there's also a blessing there. That's the idea. So Narada Muni said, okay, I will go and I will approach different devotees and I will ask them, I will tell them the situation and ask them for the dust of their feet. So Narada Muni, he went to one group of devotees and he asked Krishna, he said, Krishna has a headache and needs the dust of your feet. Can you please give that? And this group said, oh no, we can't do that. That's not possible. And Narada Muni said, well, why? And he said, well, if we do that, then we'll have to suffer sinful reactions. We'll have to go to hell. Of course, within Krishna consciousness, hell is not an eternal place. It's a temporary location where people suffer their karmic reactions and then they're given another chance. But anyways, they said, we can't do that because we'll have to go to hell. So sorry, we can't do that. So they refused. And then he went to another group like this. He was going to different groups. And everybody was saying the same thing, we can't do it. So they had some of their own benefit in mind, their own future in mind. What will happen to us, what will happen to us, what will happen to us. So Narada Muni, he went to the gopis and he said, Krishna has a headache. And they said, oh, what can we do? And Narada Muni said, well, Krishna needs the dust of your feet, and then he'll be relieved of the headache. So then the gopis said, oh yeah, immediately. Take it all, no problem. And please, fast, take it fast and then go give it to Krishna. And then Narada Muni said, well, wait a second, aren't you worried that you'll have to go to hell, you have to suffer in your next life? Aren't you worried about that at all? And the gopi said, no, we're not worried at all. As long as Krishna's happy, we're happy. Which is the definition of pure love for Krishna, that a devotee is just happy that Krishna's pleased. They don't have any of their own ideas of gratification in mind. So yeah, Srila Prabhupada really liked this idea. And the idea is that a devotee, a pure devotee of Krishna, is willing to do anything for the pleasure of Krishna, even though it may be very difficult. So again, Srila Prabhupada is a perfect example of this because he came to America in 1965, which was difficult. It wasn't easy. He wasn't going to become rich or famous businessman or so on, but he was going to give Krishna to others. He was going to give Krishna consciousness to others. That was his purpose. And why was that difficult? Because Srila Prabhupada was going to America and he was going to tell people, I know you're attached to eating meat and fish and eggs. I know you're attached to that, but you should give it up. And I know you're attached to intoxication, all different types of forms of intoxication, but you should give it up. And I know you're attached to gambling. Nowadays, gambling's much easier. You just take out your phone, just gamble away. You can lose money easier these days. I know you're attached to gambling, but you give that up also. And your illicit connection with the opposite sex, you also give that up. Which is like all of these principles are like the very foundation of Western materialistic civilization. And instead of doing all that, you follow these moral principles and you chant the names of God at least 2 hours a day, and you just dedicate your whole life to Krishna, to God. So Srila Prabhupada, this was his mission, and he was thinking that as soon as I introduce these things, as soon as I say this to people, people are going to say, oh, Swami, go home. We don't want you here. So it was a very difficult it was a very difficult idea that Srila Prabhupada was trying to accomplish. But he did have his preparation. He was praying and praying and praying before he left India. Specifically, there's a case where Srila Prabhupada was at Advaita Bhavan, which is on the outskirts of Mayapur. And Advaita Acharya is one of the members of the Panchatattva, for those of you who know. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda. Their Lord Chaitanya, Krishna come again 500 years ago. Advaita Acharya is one of his associates. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the one who spread the chanting of the holy name throughout India and love of God throughout India through the chanting of the holy name of Krishna. So Advaita Acharya is responsible for bringing Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to this world by his loud cries. He was saying, please descend and help these people. Give them love for Krishna. So Advaita Acharya is a special personality within our line, but anyways, Srila Prabhupada was there at his place, Advaita Bhavan, and he was praying to Advaita Acharya, he was praying to the previous Acharyas, he was praying to Krishna, that please help me. I'm going to go to the West. It's a very difficult situation. I do not have any money. I do not have any contacts. I'm an old man with ill health. Please help me. And he was praying there quite a lot. And one of the pujaris, those who take care of the deities there, they went to him and they said, he looked familiar to them, to the pujari. And then he realized that this was his old friend, Abhay Charan, who used to be a householder, who then became a sannyasi, put on saffron cloth. And so then the pujari asked Srila Prabhupada, what are you praying for? What are you trying to do? And Prabhupada was crying. And he was saying, my guru has given me an impossible task. So I'm praying for his mercy, for the mercy to be able to do this, to come to America and to give Krishna consciousness. So in this way we see that Srila Prabhupada had such determination. No money, no contacts, elderly man, bad health. He had a heart attack on the way here on the boat, Jaladuta. So he had great determination. So if we're ever feeling hopeless, maybe sometimes we don't, maybe sometimes we do, but if we're ever feeling hopeless at all in relation to having determination and Krishna consciousness, we could just look at the example of Srila Prabhupada and said, wow, look what he did. There were so many obstacles in front of him, but he just went through them. Now, then the question is, okay, well, that's Srila Prabhupada, and yes, we could think about him and his determination, but what about me? How am I supposed to get that determination? Because one thing, it's easy to say, well, this saint has determination. This saintly man or this saintly woman has determination, but what about me? I'm a different story. We're going to be ending very soon, by the way, so you could get your questions ready, if you have any. So someone may ask, well, what about me? How am I supposed to get that determination? And the idea is that we get that determination by associating with pure devotees of Krishna or advanced devotees who have that determination. So when we say think of Srila Prabhupada or associate with Srila Prabhupada or think about his life, that is a type of association with him. And then we'll get that determination to continue. And therefore reading about the lives of great saintly people is a very powerful way to get determination. And also to take shelter of Scripture or Bhagavad Gita. And specifically, there was one verse that Srila Prabhupada said gave him special inspiration for coming to America. Does anyone remember that verse? Yes. Ramapati? Ekeha Kurunandana. Not IKEA Kurunandana. Right? You know IKEA, the shop. So, Vyavasayatmaka Buddhir Ekeha Kuru Nandana Bahushaka Hirantascha Buddhayo Vyavasayanam. So Srila Prabhupada, he read this verse while in India, and specifically the purport, which he based his purport on, of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. This was his main inspiration for, he said, the main verse that inspired him to come to the West. So we'll read that verse and we could read some of the purport. So, those who are on this path are resolute in purpose, and their aim is one. O beloved child of the Kurus, the intelligence of those who are irresolute is many-branched. So when we talk about determination, this verse, Krishna is saying that the intelligence is many-branched. In other words, their attention's going all over the place. But resolute in purpose, and the aim is one, means there's one aim to serve Krishna, to reawaken our love for Krishna, and in this particular case, to give Krishna consciousness to others, as Srila Prabhupada did. So, we'll read part of the purport, which is the latter part of the purport. Service and Krishna consciousness is, however, best practice under the able guidance of a spiritual master who is a bona fide representative of Krishna, who knows the nature of the student and who can guide him to act in Krishna consciousness. As such, to be well versed in Krishna consciousness, one has to act firmly and obey the representative of Krishna, and one should accept instruction of the bona fide spiritual master as one's mission in life. So Srila Prabhupada's writing this, and he's telling us that in order to be successful in Krishna consciousness, it's important to take shelter or to take the instruction or guidance of qualified teachers, guru, teachers, and to make their instructions one's mission in life. Everybody has a mission in life. Even if we say we don't have a mission, we all have a mission. It might be an undefined mission, but it's a mission. Everybody, according to their understanding, according to their consciousness, they're on a mission. So the idea is that instead of accepting so many missions, there's so many missions, but the idea is to accept the instructions of the spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada, and his sincere followers, to accept that as our mission. To love Krishna, to give Krishna consciousness to others, in essence. And then he quotes Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. He says he instructs us in this famous prayers to the spiritual master as follows: Yasya prasada bhagavat prasado yasya prasada nakati katopi dhyayans tuvams tasya yasya shri sandhyam vande guru shri charana arvindam. By satisfaction of the spiritual master, Krishna, or the Supreme Personality of Godhead, becomes satisfied, and by not satisfying the spiritual master, there's no chance of being promoted to the plane of Krishna consciousness. I should therefore meditate and pray for his mercy 3 times a day and offer my respectful obeisances unto him, my spiritual master. The whole process, however, depends on perfect knowledge of the soul beyond the conception of the body, not theoretically but practically. When there's no longer a chance for sense gratification manifested in fruitive activities, one who is not firmly fixed in mind is diverted by various types of fruitive acts. So, again, Srila Prabhupada read the purport by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur of this verse, chapter 2, text 41, which the main essence of it being is that we should try to understand the instructions of the spiritual teachers and make that our mission. So Srila Prabhupada, his main instruction that he got from his guru is that you are a young, intelligent man, because he met him when he was very young, in his 20s. And he said, you should take the message of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, take the message of Krishna, and spread it throughout the whole entire world for the benefit of others. You should work for the benefit of others. So Srila Prabhupada heard that instruction when he was in his 20s. And then, nearing 70, he went to fulfill that. Due to circumstances, he didn't go before that. So he was meditating, okay, these are the instructions of my guru, these are the instructions of my guru, these are the instructions of my guru, and he just, went for it. And he didn't consider whether he was going to be a failure or success. So if we associate with such personalities as him, like him, or his followers, and if we read the commentaries by such personalities, we will definitely develop determination and Krishna consciousness. And by that determination, we will be successful ultimately. As Rupa Goswami says, amongst other things we need, but he says, Utsaha nishchaya dharya tat karma vivartanat sangatyagat sutovite shadbir bhakti prasidati. One of the things needed is determination. So, all right. Does anybody have any question or comment? Anything you'd like to say? Yes, Guru Krishna. That was 30 minutes. Yes.
So you mentioned that determination can be in either goodness, passion, or ignorance, right?
Yeah.
So when we're trying to be determined in Krishna consciousness, there's a whole, especially at the temple, there's a whole multi-level management system going on, you know.
Oh yeah, tell me about it.
And so one manager may say, you know what, it'd be great if you could do this thing, you know.
Yeah.
And, oh, okay, I'll do it. Then another manager may come over and say, what are you doing? Oh, I'm doing this for so-and-so. Oh, well, you're supposed to be working with me, and now I want you to do something else.
Yeah.
And so these different situations can come up, and
Yeah.
we're supposed to be determined, but then it looks like we have to be flexible, and so it becomes difficult sometimes to figure out.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we have to be determined, but we also have to be flexible because, yeah, it's a movement where there's a lot of different activities going on, and there's a lot of different, there's a whole management structure and how to you definitely can't make everybody happy, as far as I've seen. So how are we to know? One thing is that I remember hearing how Srila Prabhupada, when he was traveling with his disciple HG Das Brahmachari, he was traveling with him, and Srila Prabhupada instructed him that you should write books. And then he was thinking, okay, yes, I'm going to do that. My guru told me I should write books because Srila Prabhupada read his article, and he really liked the article in Back to Godhead magazine. So he said, you should write books, or you should write. So he got out his paper and his pen, and he was starting to write. But then there was one manager. There was one manager, one of his godbrothers, Shama Sundar. He told Giraj Das Brahmachari that, you shouldn't do this right now. We need your help collecting donations for this big event we're going to do in Bombay. It's a Bombay Pandal, where they're going to invite thousands of people, and they're all going to chant and hear about Krishna. And they're going to serve him prasadam. So then he did that. He said, okay, and he did that. So like that, a couple things happened, similar things happened. So then some months later, he met with Srila Prabhupada, and Srila Prabhupada said, so, Giraj, how is your writing going? And there was a few disciples there, and then he was a bit, unhappy about his writing situation. He said, well, Srila Prabhupada, I haven't really done much writing. And then he said, oh, that's okay, we could talk about it. So then everybody exited the room, and then they were there together, and then he told Srila Prabhupada how, I've been traveling, I've been very busy with so many activities, and I haven't had much time to write. And then Srila Prabhupada said, I have a similar experience. He said, I'm traveling all over India and preaching so much, I don't have much time to write. But my guru told me to write books. But then Srila Prabhupada told him something. He said that you could suspend the instruction of the spiritual master, but you should never neglect it. So you could suspend it due to, you can't suspend it whimsically, just, okay, well, I don't want to do that. But you suspend it due to circumstances. You have to. But then you don't neglect it. It's always in your mind, and then just like Srila Prabhupada, he had it in his mind to go to America, and he didn't neglect it. So due to certain circumstances, we may put some particular service off and then do another service. But that's okay, provided we fulfill the instruction at some point. And how are we to know that even further? In the 10th canto of the Bhagavatam, in a purport, Srila Prabhupada explains, in the pastime of Damodar Leela, Mother Yashoda, she's feeding Krishna, her son, and she puts him down to go tend to the milk on the stove. And which we won't get into all the details of that pastime, but the point is brought up in the purport. How is a devotee to know? Because Mother Yashoda, she had to neglect one aspect of service to Krishna, namely feeding him, to go tend to another aspect. So how is it a devotee to know that? So Srila Prabhupada writes in the purport that Krishna in the heart, he quotes the Bhagavad Gita, Satatam Kirtayanto Mam. Is that the verse? No. Which verse is it? No, it's Tesham Sat. What is it? Yeah. Yeah, Matir Smit. What is it? Sannavishnu Smitir Ganam Apohanam Cha. Yeah. So Krishna, he gives us remembrance, he gives us forgetfulness within our heart. So that is how a devotee is to know what service to do first and what service to do second and so on. But then you say, all right, well, how do I know it's Krishna speaking to me in my heart? And that we could ask devotees externally, ask the guru, ask different devotees externally. This is what I'm thinking. Do you feel this is right? And if they all say no, then it's probably a good indication. It's just our mind. But if they say yes, then we could take that as Krishna. So those are some ideas. Any other? Yes.
Okay. Hare Krishna, and
Hare Krishna.
Forgive me my ignorance here. Okay, so
Forgive my ignorance.
the idea that the dust from the feet would be requested, to me, there's the ick factor. So, like, my first initial reaction
like ick,
is,
dust. Oh, no.
I would say, ew, ick. Like, to me, I would be worried about going to hell because I gave somebody the dust from my feet. I mean, I just find that the ick factor.
Well, I'll tell you something about that.
Please, because I'm confused. I just find that icky. Like, I would be like, I think I'm being tricked into giving the dust from my
If
feet
you
to
love-
Krishna.
okay,
Like, not the dust. Please, not the dust.
Okay, sure.
Does that make sense?
I'll tell you something. I mean, it's a bit of an in-house crowd, as far as I could see. Maybe there's some not exactly in-house, if you want to use that terminology. But there's one case which I hope it gives more clarification, or maybe you might just find it amusing. But there's one case where, because it goes even further than the dust. It goes like if you actually eat something that a great devotee ate, like kind of like they call it like remnants of their food, then there's a transference of that of Krishna consciousness there as well. Just like Srila Prabhupada gives an example that if somebody's infected, like by a sickness, if you take the food off of their plate, you'll get infected with that sickness. So similarly like that, there's a transference of consciousness and so on. But so in relation to that, because it reminded me of the factor, there was one disciple of Srila Prabhupada, Shamasundar. He's still around, but he was his secretary, and Srila Prabhupada went to go see a very important person. I believe he was a very high dignitary from India. I don't know if it was the prime minister or it was somebody very important, very high up in the government. So Prabhupada went to go meet him in San Francisco. So they went there, and Shamasundar, he said he was a little under-rested, so he was sitting on the couch trying to look very like professional, and but he's having a hard time not falling asleep. So he's sitting there, and Srila Prabhupada's talking with this high government man from India and his wife. So they're talking. And then eventually, throughout the conversation, Srila Prabhupada, mostly it was in Hindi, but Srila Prabhupada would sometimes speak in English. Very little, but he said, "Oh, this is Shamasundar, my American disciple, very respectable person." And Shamasundar was having a hard time not falling asleep, so he was trying, So he's sitting there, trying to stay awake. there's this whole conversation. Then Srila Prabhupada, he said a few more things in English. He said, yes, we're trying to get visas for our American disciples so they could preach in India. So please help us with this. That was mainly what Prabhupada was trying to achieve. So they leave, and while they're leaving, the wife of this government person, she gives a big bag, like a paper bag. She gives it to Srila Prabhupada as a gift. So then they leave. They go downstairs, they leave. And Shamasundar's driving, and then Srila Prabhupada's in the passenger seat, so they're driving. And then Srila Prabhupada goes on to explain how he was related somehow to this high government person. Like, it was like his mother's aunts, fathers, brothers, cousins, sisters, sons, something like that. Like very long, how he was related to this person. So then Srila Prabhupada, he opens up the bag. And in the bag, he goes, majul date. Like a date, sweet date. He goes, majul date, wonderful. But it was like especially like big date. So then Srila Prabhupada, he gets the date and he takes a bite out of it. He's chewing, and then he says, very good. And then Shamasundar, no, excuse me, this isn't Shamasundar, it's Mukunda, sorry. It's Mukunda. So Mukunda, he's driving, and then eventually Srila Prabhupada, he takes the date and then he passes it to Mukunda, after he already took a bite out of it. And then Mukunda, he writes, because he used to be part of the hippie day, the hippie movement. So he writes in the book, he says, when Srila Prabhupada passed me that, this kind of icky factor came in my mind. I was like, this is kind of weird, like this is kind of gross. Like he's taking a bite of something and handing it to me. And he said, but I used to share joints, soggy joints with people. So he said, anyways, whatever, I'll just accept it, So then he took a bite of it. So and he's like, wow, and he writes, this is the best date he ever had in his life. It was like amazing, it's like really good. So then he takes a couple bites, and then he goes to hand it back to Srila Prabhupada. And then Srila Prabhupada, he looks at him and he goes, no, that's good. You. And then Mukunda, he's thinking, I did like what is that? I forgot what language it's in. It's like faux pas. Like a faux pas, cultural, mistake here. So then he's kind of quiet, driving home and driving to the temple. So then they go to the temple, and then Mukunda, he speaks with the devotee. He said, I'm kind of bewildered, and Prabhupada was very kind. He went back to the temple. He said, thank you very much, Mukunda. And then he went upstairs and, he retired. But then Mukunda was downstairs and he's thinking, what did I do? I did some mistake. And then he asked one of his godbrothers, he said, I was with Srila Prabhupada and he had this date and he bit out of it. And then he gave it to me. Then I bit out of it. And then I handed it back to him. But and he didn't accept it. So then the godbrother said, the thing is, it's not that Srila Prabhupada was just offering you like a date, but it was part of his kindness. It was like a form of kindness he was offering you. And then Mukunda, he read in the scripture, in the Srimad Bhagavatam, in the first canto, the descriptions of the son of a maidservant who served great devotees by hearing from them about Krishna, by chanting about Krishna, and by taking the remnants of food that they ate. And how in the next life, from all of that, in the next life, he became the great Narada Muni, the celebrated, wonderful devotee that everyone glorifies and knows about, and who's experiencing the highest levels of Krishna consciousness. So then he realized, yes, this was a special kindness. So the dust from the feet, the food that's been honored by devotees, so it has special power. Oh yeah, now he's even going further. Now he's going even further. Srila Prabhupada went even further. There's water that washed the feet of a great devotee as well. That also has, you sprinkle it on your head. It has special power too. Or drink it, yeah. So, any other?
Well, there's this dust of the feet and taking the bath water. It's kind of a twofold thing because initially it's a sign of surrender, of humility.
Yes, very humble to do such a thing, right?
Very,
Yeah.
very humble, right? Devotees talk about taking the straw from the street,
Yeah,
put it in their teeth before they go to someone to ask them something.
yeah,
Very, very humble.
yes,
So then with that humility, then there's great reward. So when a superior, like the Supreme Personality of Godhead,
yeah,
is asking you for the dust from your feet, oh, no, it doesn't work that way. I'm supposed to take his dust from his feet.
Yeah.
Why is he asking it for me?
yeah,
So the Brahmins are like, no way.
yeah,
The gopis are like, I don't care if this is a big offense or not. If that's what Krishna wants for it to relieve his headache, I'm ready to commit the offense, go to hell. I just want Krishna's happiness.
yeah,
So that's the other dynamic here,
yeah,
is that there's the great benefit if it works in one direction, coming from the superior to the subordinate,
yeah.
but not vice versa. So that's the other dynamic.
Yes, thank you. All right. Any other question? Comment? Yes.
There's a book that Prabhupada translated by Rupa Goswami called the Upadeshamrita, which means essential, the nectar of the most essential instructions. It's only 11 verses. But there's one verse that deals with this determination. And it's Utsahan Nishtayat Dharyat Tattat Karma Pravartanat Sangatyagat Satovriddhi Shadbhi Bhakti Prasiddhiti. So this describes there's the different elements, that one of them which is determination, in the practice of devotional service. So the idea is you want to achieve some goal. And if you want to achieve some goal, then there's certain steps. If it's a material goal, suppose you want to be an Olympic high jumper. You know, I really want to do that. The kid is 7 years old, you know. So there's a certain path. When you get old enough, you need to get some instruction, and then you have to practice and jump and do this and all of that. And if you're really determined, you can reach the goal. So that's all material. That's determination in mode of passion or something. So this describes the different elements surrounding this determination. Like the goal is to be a pure devotee of Krishna. So he says enthusiasm and patience and determination in the matter of, and this is the most important thing, in the matter of performing all the activities of Krishna consciousness. Getting up in the morning early, chanting, following the principles, all of these things. Tat tat karma pravartanat. Because you can be very enthusiastic, determined, and patient to become a great Wall Street lawyer and make $1 million. That's a material goal. So this is in the matter of bhakti. And then you need to give up the association of ordinary people who will, you'll catch their determination. You hang out with somebody who's made it in Wall Street or something, you want to go that direction. So you have to associate with devotees and give up the association. And these elements there, so it's very instructive if you want to find out more, and the purport Prabhupada describes this element. So it's in the instructions, he quoted wonderfully from the Bhagavad Gita, Prabhupada's embrace of that instruction of Vishwanath Chakrabarti Thakur, make the order of the spiritual master one with your heart. In other words, that should be your guiding mode, and Prabhupada accepted that. But then he gave us these instructions, which when they came out in '78, I remember it was just so important for the whole movement. So every verse is a practical instruction. So we probably have some out there on the table there. So this is another aspect of the determination.
Do we have any nectar instructions?
No nectar instructions.
They're all gone?
No,
Oh, really?
They were so popular that they're gone.
I think there's a few in the lounge. Do you think you could grab them? And I don't know if there's a few in the lobby. Mahima, you want to check if there's some in the lobby, in the bookshelf? I mean, the rack thing? And then maybe Mukunda has some on the table. Yeah, Nectar of Instruction is an extremely important book. And it's very compact, but it pretty much takes you from the very beginning of Krishna consciousness to the culmination of Krishna consciousness, just in 11 verses. So, yeah, it's really amazing. 11 lessons in the ancient science of Bhakti Yoga. Yeah. So, all right, got some more. Okay, good. So who, I know many of you have this book already, because I know, a number of you have been coming to the temple for a number of years. So I have an idea who has the book. But who does not have the book? Okay. You could raise your hand, or do you want to hear? You come back. All right. So 1, 2, 3. Who else? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 8. So I'll let you. Maybe we should right over here, this section. What about her? See? Uh-oh. Here. Her, right here. Right here. And then what about him? Yeah. Yeah, I think you have, you. Anyways. Okay, can you raise your hand if you didn't get a book just now? Okay, Dwijamani, can you write their names down? I have a piece of paper. Okay, so please just raise your hands who didn't get a book. One person here, a few people here, somewhere. So you could take their name and their number, and we'll give them the book. All right. Oh, wow, Guru Krishna's on a roll tonight. All right. It's number 3.
It's the history of Dhruva Maharaj.
Yeah, we might be hearing about that next week, because the theme of this month is determination.
Okay.
So I think the devotee next month will be giving that about Dhruva.
Okay.
I mean, next week. But yeah, you wanted to say something about Dhruva?
Well, I think it's going to be covered next week.
10-second comment. The very name Dhruva means fixed in determination.
There you go.
That's why he's called Dhruva. Okay?
You could take that put that in your fact file. All right, any last Yeah, so Dhruva Maharaj will be discussed next week, and the whole pastime of Dhruva Maharaj, and then throughout the month there'll be some other talks on determination. So yes, thank you all very much. Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.